It seems activism in the arts are rightfully held to a standard by those who have been immersed in it for generations. However, for it to flourish and be eternal, younger folks gotta step in. So enter Jamee and Norel McAdoo, two newer torchbearers with whom I enjoyed conversing. Look around and I'm still here, I celebrate. I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate. I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate, I celebrate. Celebrate what a brother done. Celebrate what we about to come from. Celebrate those that love to hate, mug upon their face, but they ain't about none. I celebrate.
That we could put out an album of poetry and just show that spoken word isn't just boring. And it isn't something that old white guys do that you read about in class. Like,
it's entertaining and powerful.
Right, entertaining and powerful, exactly. That's what I was trying to say.
Dope. And I'm guessing by the last name and the hair curl pattern that y'all related, right?
Yeah.
That's my little sister.
For sure.
My big brother.
For sure. So let me ask this, what first got y'all into the path where y'all now in terms of being creatives?
Both of our parents worked at a poetry radio show, so I always like to say it's in my blood. I remember like my first poem was like in 5th grade, and it was like about my crush or whatever, and my mom was like, "You did not write this." So since then, like I've known I've been skilled with writing. Then in middle school, we learned about desegregation and everything, and I wrote a poem called "I Don't Get It," where it's like, I don't get why they talk about our skin. I don't get why they think this. And that kind of started my professional career, I would say, because I got asked to do that at different schools, churches, events, go all around this little 11-year-old girl doing this very profound piece about desegregation and about how Black lives do matter and stuff at such a young age. So I've always had it in me because of my parents, but I think it flourished once I went to middle school.
Poet, published author as well. I'm also a rapper, AKA CEO Norel, Apple Music, Spotify, everywhere. You can find my music everywhere. But I just started doing poetry my junior year of high school, and it's crazy because the first poem I wrote, it was about social injustice, racial injustice, and so like that was like my first 3 poems that I ever wrote. Though that's what the topic was. So I'd say before I was even a poet, I was already trying to use my words for activism.
But I did poetry first, and then he saw I was getting paid and making money, so then he kind of took over my area and has just exceeded me by winning all of these competitions. But that's neither here nor there.
CEO, I get it.
CEO, I was in it, yeah.
That's what's up. So I've been kind of following y'all for a while, and especially in this time being after post-George Floyd's murder, and y'all are being activists on front lines. Do you feel that your creativity has to be shown in other forms in terms of protest or advocacy?
Yes, I feel like it's very important to do anything, because just doing nothing, that just doesn't sit right with me. So I feel like what's more important to be doing than any type of protest? Like what could I possibly be doing? Just chilling at home, playing the game, eating something. Like I should be out here trying to make the country better for the future, trying to make change happen. So I feel like it's very important to do anything, whether that's handing out water bottles. You don't necessarily have to march. You can hand out the water bottles. You can make masks for our protesters to wear. You can do anything. There's so many different avenues you could take to help the fight.
And for me, I feel like just being a Black girl is kind of in my essence. And I've always kind of tried to be an example for people that this is what a smart Black girl looks like. This is what a creative Black girl looks like. This is what a confident Black girl looks like. So yes, with my words, yes, with my performances and the way that I speak at these things, that is how I've chosen to use my voice in this movement. But also just by being an example and showing other brown-skinned girls that you can look like me and not have these horrible stereotypical, words associated with you, or you can be more than what they expect out of you. So I've always been kind of humbled at the fact that I can inspire other people who look like me to show them that there's so much greatness just in who you are. And that's what I try to live my day by.
We're not just speaking for ourselves, we are the voice for those who feel like they don't have a voice. So whenever I go up and do a poem in front of hundreds, in front of thousands of people, and everybody can resonate with it, that's powerful. That's a purpose. That's something that's for the greater good of everybody.
When you create now, like, what are your expectations? Like, why do you create, and how do you expect it to be received?
I always write, I would say, for myself. For a short period, I did kind of get lost in it, and I tried to think about my audiences too much. Like, well, if I'm posting this on Instagram, it has to be less than a minute to keep them engaged. It probably should be like this. It needs to be politically correct. You don't want to be too controversial. I did get caught up in that for a little while, but I'm kind of back now to my old gym, and I just want to write about whatever I want to write about, however I'm feeling. When I see these videos, I get outraged, so I'm gonna write from that emotion. Whenever I hear about another death, you know, I get sad, so I'll write a disheartening piece. Like, I think I don't worry so much about how it's perceived now, and once I've done that, my writing has been more authentic, and it's actually reached people more because it's coming from the heart.
That it ain't no gun they make that can kill my soul.
I feel like I always know what the why is when I write a poem, and it's just always coming from an authentic place. I feel like if it's authentic, that's what people resonate with the most.
Right.
So as long as I'm just telling my truth, it is the truth. It's my truth. So no one can dispute what my truth is.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's why people resonate with it, and that's why people like it, because it's just authentic, it's real, it's true.
I don't celebrate victories that haven't come. This war is far from won. This war is far from won.
All right, last question to wrap this up. What is one thing from the generation before you that you got that you implement now? And what's one thing where you're like, yeah, that was good for them, but we good? Yeah, it's okay. We're gonna cut this out if like your parents listen. They won't even know.
Okay.
Yeah, cool.
But one thing that I've learned from the previous generation is the action part. So, you know, there was the bus boycotts. There were like all of that comes from the civil rights movement. We didn't just come up with that. And my father always tells us whenever we play a song, he's like, you know where they got that from, right? Or if there's a TV show, it's like, oh, they copying off of this old TV show. So nothing is new under the sun. But I think we should appreciate some of the activist tactics that they did. And a lot of people think it can be over quick. Like if you look at history, it took longer. Like you have to continually put forth effort if you want this protest to actually make a difference and change laws and legislation, which it already is, which is why I think what's going on right now has been so impactful already, but we gotta keep going. Like that's what I've learned from them, is that resilience, you know, you gotta keep pushing, and you can't just think it'll be over soon.
Sure.
Right, and just piggybacking off what she said, I think I always listen to my elders. So like, I feel like you can always glean something from those who come before you. You can always learn from their wisdom because they've been here, they've done it. So you should always think and learn something from previous generations because it was successful. We did get changes made, but we do have more changes to make. So we have to keep pushing and keep protesting.
No, that's actually cool. That's a good place to end. Matter of fact, I think you probably gonna get some more streams of what you said from that anyway. So,
yeah.
No, I appreciate y'all coming here. Thanks for what y'all doing, and y'all inspire me, man, for real. We often say some younger folks have wisdom and confidence beyond their years, but that's somewhat reductive in Jamee and Norel's case. They've had the tutelage and put in the time and work to have earned it. So whether it's their creations, activism, or just their lives, I look forward to what they have in store for us next. Their glow is appreciated. Ain't about no, I celebrate. Thank y'all for checking out this episode of The Glow. And while y'all here, make sure you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also, check out some more content from Arkansas PBS. See you next Tuesday, 10 a.m. for the next episode.